You're listening to Hey Pal, What's New with John, Alex, and Greg. Hey Pal, What's New is a GBR production. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all other social media platforms. Hey Pal, What's New can be found on Spotify, Twitch, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google, Podbean, Pandora, and all your other favorite podcast locations. Warning, Hey Pal, What's New contains explicit content. John, Alex, and Greg are a pair of vulgar Gen Xers. If you are easily offended, please stop listening and go download a nice tame podcast like the Goop Podcast. You have been warned.
Who doesn't love a good taint smell?
You fucking guys.
That's right. Break out the paint and cover your taint. It's Hey Pal, What's New?
Oh, we're going rhyming.
You gotta rhyme it, man. That's the rule. I literally sit on my commute on the ride home going like, all right, taint, paint, ass, grass. Just trying to think of anything.
Slime,
grime, gruel, whatever. Anyway, but hey, everybody, it's Hey Pal, What's New? We're live. It's Friday night. My Hey Pal, What's New is I had to take my daughter to get her septum pierced, her nose pierced again. She got her nose pierced a couple weeks ago. Got one of those like little pimple things that got stuck in there, so she had to take it out. She was really upset, and so we said, I said, we'll take you, get it pierced again. But this time she got her septum pierced. It was funny. She was telling the girl out there, she was like, yeah, my parents, they didn't want me to get my septum pierced. They just said side, so I got side, but then it got infected, and I got so sad that they broke down and let me get my septum pierced. I said,
divorce guilt.
Yeah.
2 Christmases.
Tell me about it. Yeah, it's definitely a lot better now, but in the beginning, it was just like, can I have a pony? Yes, whatever you want. Just don't hate me. But everything's good in the hood, my friends. Yeah, it's Friday night. I got my coffee, and my daughter's got her nose pierced at 13, and we're good parenting. But anyway, what's new with you there, Samuel L. Jackson?
I always hate every week going, same shit, different day.
Same old stuff. Well, I always like to check in, you never know
There's not much new over here.
If you grew an extra testicle, or, you got a weird chest hair that popped out of your chest.
Only when I cough do I get the extra testicle. Is that bad?
I don't know. It's just. I heard a story. If you listen to Joe Rogan's podcast, which we're about the same numbers. I was listening to it today, and yeah, exactly. We're off by about
I forgot to
999 million different.
I forgot to come back on doing the. I just finished snorting a line of coke off that girl's ass.
Anyway. No, yeah, no. They were talking about all the plastic, that we consume. I'm going to totally butcher this too, because I'm not factual. You know what? Neither is Joe Rogan. So
but I mean, who's fact checking you?
Yeah, exactly. No, they were talking about how the amount of plastic that we ingest in our body is like the size of a credit card every 2 weeks. Yeah. From all the stuff all the plastic that we use, whether we microwave, putting hot water, hot coffee in one of these solo cups, and I'm sure it's just real thrilling stuff that everybody's just talking about. But yeah, so all right, so we're caught up on all that stuff. Like I said, I was talking. If we want to hit it back in the day, I was telling him about the
back in the days when I was young.
God damn it, we're old. Because I go in there, and the place that she gets her stuff pierced is in the mall, believe it or not. But it's like an actual, real piercing place. It's really professional.
I'm just laughing because I'm just remembering the days of like, hey, has anybody got a nail?
Well, that's what I was bringing up to her, because I said, when I got my nipple pierced, you got your nose pierced, the septum at the same time.
Right.
Because she was like, I don't know about septum, and does it hurt more than the other one? I said, I don't know. I said, but I will tell the story of when I first got this pierced, which was back in 1990, believe it or not. My fucking piercing is 32 years old. I've banged women younger than that. But
waiter.
Anyway, I digress. No, but we went to. I remember that when we got this done, we were at my house, and Walter said, for Christmas. Walter, John's on the phone. When we were at my house, yes, big up there, buddy. We were, of course, drinking, as we did. We had the Dinkel-Locker. You remember Dinkel-Lockers? Yeah, we were drinking a Dinkel-Locker keg. We're getting shitty. And Walter said, well, for Christmas, I was going to get you guys piercings. So let's all get pierced. And we're like, ah! So we get in the car, driving. Not a smart idea. So we went to Pasquale's, was it called? Or the one in Carmel. That's where we
Mackenzie's?
went. Mackenzie's, yeah.
Pasquale's was the pizza place.
No, that's right.
Pasquale's!
No, so we go there, and I got my nipple pierced. Walter got his nipple pierced, I believe.
I already had my nipple pierced.
Yeah,
that time.
Yeah, but you were like, I'm going to get my septum pierced. And we're like, all right, cool. And it was so funny because, you were being all tough, like, yeah, I don't need. And they put you back in the chair, and they pierce. And as soon as you pierce the septum, your eyes start watering.
Yeah.
So they lifted you up, and you were like, you're crying. And you're like, I'm not crying. It was fine. We're like, you're crying.
I tell everybody it's that like when you pull a nose hair.
Yeah.
When you're picking nose hair, it's like, oh, yeah, my eyes are watering now.
But it was just so funny because you were all tough guy. Went back, and then when they lifted you up, you just looked like you just watched Tears of Terms of Endearment. I was like, ah.
I just made Sophie's choice.
Yeah,
it wasn't a hard choice, people.
Yeah, but let me tell you, the piercing places have come a long way from, because the lady, I was talking to the lady, and she's like, oh, hey, Dad, how about you get your nose pierced? And I'm like, I already got something pierced there, broad.
Well, it's so funny you say that because I don't know how we got on that story. I was just like, I remember back in the day. Okay. I just remember like John Bachman coming in the freaking diner in Danbury, was it?
Yeah.
Had just pierced his tongue. He's like, hey, guys, how'd it go?
Oh, yeah.
And there's like blood coming out of his mouth. Like, dude, that don't look good. He's like, it's going to be all right.
Yeah, that kid used to pus, like just randomly.
Oh, yeah.
He was the one who actually got me this piercing, the platinum one.
He pierced my tongue.
Yeah, because we went to go visit him in the city, and he was like, "Oh, you need a better ring." He got me this one. It's platinum, which is gorgeous. And my girlfriend at the time wanted her belly button pierced, and she was so nervous about it. And when we went to Mackenzie's, they literally they froze the area, they sprayed it, and they put the needle through. I didn't feel it. So I was like, "Yeah, this was fine. It was no big deal." My ears hurt more than my freaking nipple. So she's like, I don't know. And I was like, I don't worry about it. I said, they freeze the area. Don't worry about it. She's like, they do? I'm like, yeah, they spray this stuff on it. They'll put the needle through. You don't even feel it. So she's like, okay. So we go to Bachman's, and she lays down on the thing. She's just about it. And she's like, so when do you freeze the area? He goes, what are you talking about? Tink. She's like, she screamed bloody murder. She was so mad at me when I was laughing. I was like,
Well, I don't really tell this. It's not even a story to tell that much. But when I got my other nipple pierced, it was I was living in Florida, and it was one of the guys who used to come over and hang out at the house. I don't know who the fuck he was like, we can do a piercing party, and I was like, all right. He's like, he comes over to that fucking drunken piercing party, piercing everybody, and he's like, you want your other nipple done? And I was like, sure. And he does it, and I'm like, after a while, I take it out because I guess either because I was drunk, he was drunk, or both.
Could be.
It was like on an angle.
Oh yeah, I had both of them done at one point, but the person that did this one, they did the areola instead of the nipple.
Yep.
So it was like back and it was crooked.
You got to get like right behind the nipple.
Yep.
At the base.
Yeah, this one's perfect, but the other one is just bad. But yeah, I remember when I used to work in the pharmacy as a farm tech. When the people I always knew who got the tongue pierced because they would walk in and they'd be like this. They go, I need some hip cleanse. Like, excuse me? The hip cleanse? I was like, okay, I knew it was Hibiclens, which was aesthetically, but they couldn't say it because their tongue was swollen. It's like, I'm like, and I knew what they wanted, but I would just fuck with them. Go, excuse me, sir? What? I'm like, all right, come down this way.
It's like the teen kid who walks in looking for condoms. You're like, excuse me, what? And he's like, where are the condoms? You go, Billy, can you show this kid where the condoms are?
Oh,
show this kid the rubbers.
Talk about back in the day. I got freaking Anissa real bad with that once. She came in the drugstore, and we used to keep the condoms in the you had to ask for them. You couldn't just grab them because people would steal them, right? Young kids.
Now you get them at the dollar store.
Yeah, exactly. You know, with a smiley face.
Maybe
on
that's
it.
why we have the population explosion we got. No.
No, but she'd come. She knew I worked there, and she would come. She came to me and she goes, "Can you do me a really favor? Like, I need condoms, but like I don't want to." I said, "I'm working the register. You could just come up to me and I'll give them to you. I won't say anything, you know." She said, "Could you just get a box of them and bring them up front, and I could pay for them up front?" I said, "Okay, sure, no problem." So she comes into the store and she's in the aisle, like you could see. She's just kind of like doing the. I'm just gonna look at this thing over here.
Making like she's browsing.
Yeah, like she's browsing at the fucking, Preparation H or something like that. So I grab the condoms and I start walking down the aisle. I go, "Yo, Nis, here you go." Threw them down the hallway. She ran. You're like, ah! They were like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "The bitch needs condoms."
hey, Nis, box of Magnums.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But yeah, the good old days of freaking piercings and rubbers and. Yeah, I don't have to worry about any of that crap anymore. We're in the snip club.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. I'm freaking shooting webs like Spider-Man. It's all good. So yeah, before we start with the news, we can start with the news, but is it something where we should we talk about the slappening?
No.
Look,
I will tell you. My therapist asked me about that today when we were talking about the show.
I can't believe everybody's still talking about it a week later.
And that's what I said to him. I was like, I think it's just fucking nobody's got anything else to talk about. Like, okay, he smacked him. Okay, like that never fucking happens. We just got to watch it live on TV. At the bottom of my news thing, I have. And then there was like, I don't know if it's worth mentioning. There was something about Chris Rock and Will Smith, but I don't know what the beef is, so whatever.
Yeah, they're starring in a buddy cop film.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Well,
I just put it up there just because, everybody's talking about it. And I'm just like, in the beginning, I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and at first I was like, oh, that was crazy. All right, cool. But now it's like dragging. And
it is funny, though.
It is funny. I just got punched by Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, exactly. But I had the picture of him getting slapped and just put "Everybody hates Chris."
I saw that one on our Facebook page. And for a day or two, it was good. But like a week late, we're almost on a week. It was last Sunday.
I mean, major news outlets and like huge YouTube channels, way more popular than we are talking about it. And I'm just like, all right, man. Like, it's done. Like, it's, they're talking about him getting suspended. Like, they're not going to take his Oscar away.
No.
They're not going to they'll suspend them for. My thing is that, the Academy's like, we're going to suspend them for, like, they haven't decided yet, but they're talking like they're going to suspend them for 3 years, which means, he could make fucking Citizen Kane and not get nominated or because, he's on this 3-year ban. So, you know what I said?
Who cares?
I Am Legend 2. Get that shit out of the way. That takes a couple of years.
Yeah.
Go fucking do that.
Make
it 20. Make it 20 mil, and then you're eligible again. Then you can do King Richard 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Well, come on, not for nothing. After this, like the next movie he makes, everybody's gonna want to see it.
Oh, Chris Rock's tour, this comedy tour. Like the
Tickets
minute
went
this
from,
happened,
like, $50 to what, $8,000?
Yeah, the minute this happened, days later he announces a tour and it's sold out. Of course, because you want to see what he's going to say.
The price of that shit went up faster than Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I figured I'd throw it.
Well, he's apparently working he's doing a special, so he's on the road working the material for the special. Mm-hmm. So he's not going to mention this shit and that because it's not part of his the bits for his special.
That the next special that comes out, he's going to talk about it and all that shit.
Well, that's what he's doing now, so he's not going to mention it. But at some point, he's going to throw it in there. But the man's a professional. He's like, I don't want to just half-ass it. I'm just saying, don't half-ass two things, whole-ass one thing.
Yeah.
He's just going to throw, he'll work on a good bit to make it funny. Wait for time when everybody will look back and laugh at it because you got the different camps going like, oh, fucking Chris Rock got hit. And other people are like, he should have talked about Will's wife. It's like, whatever, man.
Whatever. Seriously. Like, I mean, we can get into the whole thing about it, but it's just like,
nah.
Yeah. You see after he made the joke that he's laughing and Jada's got that. She's a fucking weirdo. I'm sorry.
She's got that. You want to let him talk?
You're going to let him get away with it? Like, it's like, dude, first of all, you're walking into the Oscars. Alopecia, I know people that have it. It's horrible, whatever. I get it.
Spalding.
Yeah.
You know who you are, but you don't listen.
That's right. But at the same time, it's just like you're going to the Oscars with a fucking bald head. It's like walking around with your dick out. People are gonna notice.
Yeah.
You know, if you were so fucking, you know, if you were so worried about it, put on a fucking wig. You know, or
a hat.
Yeah, just expect when a woman walks in bald, people are gonna say something about it. And, you know, we don't get all full disclosure.
Well,
and it was a bad fucking joke. It was a 20-year-old fucking movie joke.
Yeah, I don't know that it's that everybody's going to talk about it. I don't think anybody's going to talk about it out loud. But you've got fucking Chris Rock, a comedian, on stage. He's probably going to mention it. Like, everything is fair game at that point.
And you're sitting up front. Like, just fucking take it and shut the fuck up. Like, you know. And then the fact that he wins the Oscar and he doesn't even mention it. He's like, oh, you know, love those crazy things. And you're just like... Yeah,
is that how you're excusing this?
Yeah, why don't you take this fucking public forum to apologize that you just slapped the man in the fucking face? Anyway, but that's it. Anyway, so you want to start with your news there, News Hound?
John, you got any news?
Have I got news? I don't know. Do I have news?
What?
I just sniffed her taint. No, I'm sorry. Just not to sidetrack too much. I still use that joke to this day. When you used to do this thing, you're like, when you're down there and you're 69 and all of a sudden you get a whiff of her ass, it's like, and you would like run a guitar pick across the strings.
Yeah,
above,
on the top. Yeah,
the top. It's like, ring.
That's the taint sound.
And I was like, God damn it, you've ruined that sound for my whole life now.
Every time you hear Running with the Devil by Van Halen, he does that in the beginning. It's the taint.
Let's see. I know. Shit, motherfucker. Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to go with first. This is like my 3+ signs. The Obi-Wan show has been moved back 2 days.
Yeah.
But they're giving you 2 episodes off the bat to kind of make up for it. Which is weird because that's, May 27th, but that's the same day that, let's see, Doctor Strange comes out that same day.
Really?
The new Top Gun movie, Top Gun Maverick, comes out that same day. And the remake of Firestarter comes out that same fucking day.
Jeez.
So I don't know why they would move it up like that if all those movies are premiering the same day. I mean, I guess everybody's going to watch anyway.
Well, I mean, the 25th is, it's on demand after that.
Right, the 25th is Star Wars Day.
Yeah, I mean, that's when New Hope came out, so it's like, it was cool. I was like, all right, well, at first I thought they were going to do May the 4th. Then that passed, and now they're like May 25th. Oh, but that's the New Hope 40th anniversary. Oh, that's really cool. Now they're like, oh, we just moved it 2 days. But hey, we're going to give you 2 episodes. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what the significance is. They started the Wednesday thing way back, Disney.
Yeah, because were they doing Fridays, and then they switched it to Wednesday. When did they switch it? I think it was one of the Marvel shows they did it. Yeah, because Mandalorian, when that first came out, they were just like dropping it at odd times when it first came out. It would be like, here's an episode. Then like 2 days later, oh, here's another one. Then like a week later, okay, well, here's one.
Yeah, when the schedules are weird and wacky and off. And on related news, too, we got a leak of like some behind-the-scenes footage of Obi-Wan and Darth Vader.
What?
Oh, wait, is that news to you? There's actually a clip out there of Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, like...
I didn't see it.
Filmed behind the scenes. Oh, I don't know if I could pull it up.
I'll watch it later, but...
Maybe while you're doing your music, I will find it and pop it on the screen and then show it to you.
That's
cool. It's the scene is Obi-Wan's got the lightsaber and Darth Vader's got his, and like they're holding it. It's like, and action, and it's like Darth Vader just throws his hand forward and force pushes Obi-Wan flying back.
Ooh, good times.
So it's like a little bit of excitement there.
Yeah, I've been in the car pretty much all day driving around and stuff at work. I didn't get a chance to see it, but I will definitely be pulling my pants down and watching that later.
Oh,
yeah, that's
so.
Good.
Let's see. Have they finished? Oh no, never mind. I'm gonna forget that. That's got a minus next to it. But HBO, I didn't know about this, but HBO has apparently got the green light on a Welcome to Derry series. The prequel kind of Stephen King universe show.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's been a while in the talks or what, but I just saw the news this week.
I think it just came out this week. They were talking about it. HBO Max is just pulling out all the stops.
I don't know if you watched, what was that other show they had that was related to the Stephen King-averse.
Oh, Castle Rock.
Castle Rock.
I tried.
I tried. I just couldn't do it.
I got a couple episodes in, and it was just kind of it was a good story, but it was all like, they just do like stuff like, oh, there's a dog. It's Cujo. Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was all like references to everything.
And apparently the second season they had like a young Kathy Bates, which looked interesting, but I just never got to it. It's still on Hulu. I mean, you can watch it, but I just never. Yeah, I just never had the time for it.
In slightly sadder news, and I know we skipped over, and I mean it's been a week. That last week during the fucking show, I guess, Foo Fighters drummer Taylor.
Yeah,
but in somewhat other news, I don't know, like Bruce Willis leaving acting now. He's admitted that he's got, what is it, aphasia, which is he has a problem understanding and recognizing language.
Yeah.
Which made Kevin Smith come out and go, "Damn, I'm sorry I was such a dick to you, bro."
I think
like an asshole.
I think they made up after that.
Well, I don't know. He just posted like a thing like yesterday.
Oh yeah,
Kevin Smith about I feel stupid and blah blah blah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that doesn't. I get it. Like it's sad. Somebody who has such charisma and he's done a lot of great movies. He's also done a lot of bad ones too.
Yeah,
especially lately, and you feel kind of bad. Between that and Taylor, I mean, it was funny because, well, actually, it wasn't funny. Is that I wanted to watch Studio 666, and I just couldn't get myself to do it after that because I was just
you don't want to watch the guy who just died get decapitated with a drum cymbal.
Yeah, it was just kind of odd. It reminded me very much about when Kurt killed himself. Like for the longest time after that, I could not listen to anything Nirvana.
Yeah,
I just couldn't for years and years and years. And then it was like maybe like recently, like maybe like 2 years ago, I was like, I'm gonna just put on Nevermind and just listen to it front to back. And I was just like, okay, I
still get chills listening to their Unplugged.
Yeah,
probably the best MTV Unplugged out there is that one.
Well, you know what it was? It was just that like, and we don't know what happened with Taylor. There's all kinds of rumors and speculation until they come out with an official autopsy. We'll find out. But like, I remember it was not only just because I was sad about Kurt dying, because it was it was tragic, but it was our generation, like in our 20s.
I think Nirvana and not Kurt was a big part of Nirvana. He was the front man. The front man's always like that big personality in a band. That's why they're the front man.
Yeah,
but I think it was seeing a band like Nirvana make it kind of gave our group legitimacy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they're not listening to shit music. Their music's actually good. It's people like it. It caught on. It's like, see, this is the shit we've been listening to forever, and y'all made fun of us, and now you all fucking love it.
Yeah, and it changed everything. Every hair metal band was like gone. It was changed. And when he died, I remember. Not only was I was pissed off. I was like, fuck him. Fuck his band. I don't want to listen to any of his shit. He was selfish, taking his own life. Fuck you.
And allegedly.
We've all watched that. We have all talked about El Duce.
I was going to say El Duce. I didn't see the Mentors make a comeback.
The Mentors. I just got hit by a train. The Mentors, man. Oh, maybe that's something I'm going to have to put on the playlist, some Mentors.
Oh, Peep and Tom. Classic.
They don't. I know.
My woman from Sodom.
He used to play drums with his dildos. It was awesome. There's a great talk about movies. There's a great documentary on the Mentors.
We talked about this once before, and I still have yet to watch it. I got to get it and watch it.
It's good. It's one of those typical Amazon Prime put together
So you were saying when he died, you were pissed.
I just couldn't listen to them. I was, and then just recently it was like then I started. I think when they got into the Hall of Fame, I was like. I forgave him. I was like, I get it. I understand. It's okay now. I can listen to your stuff. I honestly, even though...
That's right, Jimmy. True that.
Yeah. I mean, even though with, what do you call it? With Foo Fighters, even though Dave does a lot of the stuff, I don't know how they come back from this.
No,
I
don't
really
either.
don't. Can they get...
This might be the thing that Dave just goes, you know what? I'm losing my hearing. Things is fucking getting bad. I think I'm done... touring, being in a band. I'll still produce. I'll still play with bands and do my thing. But as a full-fledged, out there all the time musician, I think this might be his like eject button.
I don't know. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, it'd be interesting to hear his final what he talks at because I mean those two were like brothers, man.
Oh yeah.
And for him to lose that, obviously he's going to go into hiding. I don't think he could stop playing. And once you're a musician, no matter what, you're just going to fucking.
Yeah, but I think we'll see a departure. I don't think
slow
there'll be
down.
Foo Fighters anymore.
Yeah, I don't really see unless they
can.
Yeah, I mean, get another drummer. Like
look,
I don't know.
And they could have continued Nirvana without Kurt if they really wanted to, but why?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not like Taylor was definitely a force in that band, and it was just so funny that so many people were playing songs. Now I know it doesn't really make much of a difference, but the stupid freaking music nerd of me is everybody's doing My Hero.
Oh yeah.
He didn't play drums on that. No. Everybody's playing that song. It goes with the lyrics and stuff like that, but I'm listening to it going, that's from The Color and the Shape, the second album, where Dave did all the drums on it because the other guy from Sunny Day Real Estate couldn't hack it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, no, it's true. Watch the doc, man. Back and forth. That's another good documentary.
Nerd.
Yeah, exactly. That's The Color and the Shape.
I got to get that button on here of the freaking Homer Simpson yelling nerd.
Yeah.
The only other news I have is not really news, but it kind of popped out at me because I'm like, oh, that's always... I'm always interested when you see two people who've done movies together multiple times, even though, like, when you look at their combined screen time, it's like, wow, they maybe spent like 5 minutes together. Yeah. But their characters are so interwoven.
Okay.
Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow and
Captain. Yeah.
Like, they've been in all those but now it's going to be hard because they have a movie that they're working on with Apple TV. Academy Award-winning movie production company, Apple TV.
That's
what?
right.
Whoever thought you'd say those fucking words?
Coda. Not just a bad Led Zeppelin album.
Oh, damn. Oh, where's my freaking wah? Nope. Nope.
What are you doing?
I just hit every fucking button. I was looking for the wah.
Either that or we get the Homer. Boo!
I gotta get the boo. I gotta get all those. They're doing some movie. I don't know what it's about. I don't know much about it, but it's being. Look, when they make these movies, they always give them like secret code names for it, and it's called what is it? Project Artemis. Now I don't know if that's like what the movie's gonna be or what it's gonna be about. What's that?
Oh, sorry. Okay, continue.
I don't know what it's going to be about, but it's about the space race. That's what it relates to.
Okay.
So whether it's going to stay Project Artemis, which sounds pretty space race related, or what the premise is, I didn't really find too much yet about it. But it's always weird, like I said, watching two people like that who've played everybody's like, oh my God, it's Captain America. Oh my God, that's Black Widow. And then to see them still together in another movie with completely different roles, it's like, okay, this is weird.
Well, that's what I like to call it the good actor-actress test. It's like, can you do if you've been in such an iconic show, or can you transition into something else like
Harry Potter? Daniel Radcliffe, like, you know what movie won me over with Daniel Radcliffe? Turned me around on like, okay, he's not Harry Potter. I mean, he's Harry Potter. He'll always be Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But I could look beyond that. I don't know if you've ever seen Swiss Army Man.
Yeah.
Movie is fucking phenomenal.
And he has that other show that's about the Oregon Trail.
Oh my God,
like
no, Miracle Workers. That came after, but that show is. At first, I didn't know what to make of that show. I watched the first season. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
It is weird, yeah.
And it was like they were angels, and Steve Buscemi was God. It was like, that's it. I'm done with the earth. Getting rid of it, wiping it out. And he's like, wait, no. What if we can find a worthy reason to keep it? And he has this like group of like prayer answering angels who can't get to all the prayers.
Yeah,
it
was good.
It was great. I've watched all the season.
Yeah, but that's always the true test. I think when it's just like I was gonna say, Michael C. Hall. He was. In 6 Feet Under was one of my favorite shows. Yeah, just when he went from 6 Feet Under, which was like one of my favorite shows of all time, then he went to Dexter. It was like completely different, Or it also from 6 Feet Under, freaking Rainn Wilson.
Oh yeah,
he was Arthur. He was awesome in that show. Yep. And then when he went to The Office, I'm like, oh, that's the guy from 6 Feet Under. So that's the true test if you can transition. I'm sure they will. I don't really follow Chris Evans' career that much, but I know
he's got that Defending Jacob on Apple TV, which was kind of like his son basically killed this kid.
Yeah, no, that was good.
Good.
That was really good, and he was in Knives Out, shit like that.
And he's in the new Knives Out sequel.
Yeah, and he's Buzz Lightyear.
That's right.
Yeah, he's getting around, that Captain America.
Oh, he's one talented feller.
Captain America throws his mighty shield.
Oh,
yeah.
Who the fuck is texting me? All right, that's my news.
Bust it.
John, you got any news?
Do you?
No.
Yeah, man, good stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it's just going down the line, for our movie, TV, and music news, which we'll get to later. I mean, movies. The only movie I saw this week, I was going to watch. What's that?
I didn't see anything.
I was going to watch Studio 666. Couldn't bring myself to do it. I did see Jackass Forever.
And?
Yeah, I'd give it like a quarter chub, maybe if you jerked it a little more, like a half.
Like one of those quarter chubs where you got to squeeze it hard to get it in.
Yeah, where you got to grab it at the base.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. I mean, it was good. I mean, I always get a kick out of Jackass. I laugh my ass off. But, like, at this point, you're almost kind of... And they brought in new characters, which they're, whatever. It still makes me laugh to this day. But at the same time, I was like, this is getting a little desperate. You know, like, you're 50 years old and you're going to you've been through all this shit. And now like, oh, well, we got new cast members. I'm like, well, that's great. But, like, that shit didn't work the last time. So, I'm glad I saw it. I always get a kick out of it. Steve-O's Wild Ride, his podcast is hysterical. He's got some good stories. But so it was almost kind of...
That's why I didn't feel like I needed to watch it. I was just like...
I mean, if you get a chance, it's on Paramount Plus.
It's no Bad Grandpa.
No, nothing is. Yeah, it's no the Ringer, but who is? But yeah, as far as Jackass Forever goes, I mean, I did see it. It was like I said, a little squeeze at the base to get it into a half chub. But other than that,
I haven't watched any new movies.
Plus, it's got fucking Machine Gun Kelly in it, and I wish somebody would put a fucking rocket in his ass and light it. Mm-hmm. Anyway. But yeah, other than that, I mean, Jackass was the only one I saw. I mean, I still want to see that movie X, which we talked about.
Yeah, me too.
Morbius is this weekend.
Oh god, I heard it's total fucking. I heard the only thing somewhat redeeming about it is his performance at trying to save the fucking shit show that is that movie.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. I felt like, and people, I don't know. It's the critics right now. I think the audience is going to be the test because. I think it's kind of like, and people are talking, it's very similar to Venom.
Right.
Now, Venom, I had a good time with. I liked it. I haven't seen the second one yet.
Right.
But it's like that 90s, early 2000s throwback comic book movie that you're like, but like, apparently there's an audience for it because both Venom movies made a shit ton of money. So we'll see.
Right.
Kind of shame because Morbius is a cool character, comic-wise.
But it just goes back to Sony doesn't know how to make a fucking good movie. No. I really feel like they don't.
They have IP that they don't know what to do with, and they should just give all that shit to Marvel.
Or look at what they've done with the IP that was successful in the past and follow that formula then. Like, and I'm wondering if they're going to fucking screw the pooch on the Spider-Verse 2 movie.
Yeah, I mean...
Big success in the first one. They were hands-off. They let Lord Miller do their thing, and I just wonder if they're going to come back now and go, okay, so now... When you're making this, you got to set up this and you got to do that because this is the roadmap we want. It's like, Can you let the creative people be creative and the business people do fucking business and stay out of it?
Yeah, they're trying to make a Spider-Verse without a Spider-Man, which is stupid. Like, apparently I heard with Morbius, now, with No Way Home, you can literally, the door's wide open.
Yeah.
In that movie, they could have put Andrew Garfield in it. They could have put fucking Toby in it, know? They had apparently they took all the references of Spider-Man out of the movie Morbius,
right?
Because they had the Daily Bugle in there. They had that poster of Spider-Man, which looked like the Toby Spider-Man.
Michael Keaton's little contribution there has been apparently massively scaled down.
Yeah, so it's just like, and they're trying to take the villains and make movies out of them, and I'm just like I love Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah, well, they're making a Craven movie.
I know, and I'm fucking scared.
And I know tonight while we're doing this, I don't know if at the exact same time, I know the guys over at Multiverse Fancast, based on their Fancast Friday, like what their question, are talking about this kind of stuff. They're really probably delving into Morbius too, because their question was, what Spider-Man character would you like to see in their own property? And I Flash Thompson getting his own either mini show or movie. I think that would be a fucking blast to watch, where he's now forgotten that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And he still loves fucking Spider-Man, and whatever's going on in his home life, he's like, it sucks. My parents don't want anything to do with me.
Yeah.
And he delves into, he's a smart guy in the show. He's like on the Olympiad team that they had. Mm-hmm. He starts doing his own superhero thing, but being Flash, he always like kind of fucks it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man has to always help him out, and he becomes resentful of Spider-Man and kind of transitions over into that being almost like a villain. And you can give him a redemption arc in the end, but at the same time, it's like, I think they could do a lot with Flash, because he's in a really weird position, and it's a character that you can build a lot on. That in Spider-Man, he's had so many different roles. In the different renditions, he's,
Interesting.
I just feel like it'd be a good character to work a fun one-off season of something just to move that universe outward.
Yeah, and I just thought of something, too. He wrote a book about being a pal with Spider-Man. I wonder if they forgot. Does that book go away?
No.
Can he just,
Maybe.
like, pick up the book and read it and go, oh, shit.
Or you know what? Maybe he wrote the book, nobody bought it, and he's got it, and he's like, wait, and he reads it and goes, holy shit, how do I not remember any of this?
Yeah, who knows? That's an interesting thing. Yeah, as far as, like, a character I would want to see, like a spin-off character, I don't know.
And you can't say Craven because we're getting that.
No, and that's the thing. It's just like, I don't want to see these movies about these villains unless Spider-Man is involved.
Well, I talked about them today with Paul from the show. I was like, I think one of the huge contributors to the major success of the Marvel Phase 1, 2, 3 is the general public knew a lot of those characters ahead of time.
Yeah.
He's like, well, Iron Man. And I was like, yeah, but like the average person who didn't really read comics, they at least knew Iron Man. Yeah, that's Iron Man. Like they kind of knew who Iron Man was. They knew who Captain America was. They may have not known Black Widow, but they knew Thor.
Yeah.
They knew Hulk. Like the major players that everybody like. And I think that's part of what carried those phases. Not that they aren't amazing in of themselves, but with the general public, I think that was the appeal, is that they knew these characters, so it increased the popularity. And there's worry that with the new Avengers stuff that's happening with, in Hawkeye with her, with Miss Marvel, with all these ones that are coming now with the younger characters. What was the fucking other one that's coming? It's not me. Anyway, a lot of people don't know these characters and know their stories, so those series might be on shaky ground because you don't have that built-in, oh, but I know these people. I'd love to see that story. Now it's like, who the fuck is... Ready? Perfect lead-in. Who the fuck's this Moon Knight motherfucker?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, nobody knows, and I didn't, and I watched that first episode, and I'm like, as someone who knows pretty much fucking absolutely nothing about Moon Knight other than he's like, Marvel's Batman.
Yeah.
Which was apparently true in the comic books, that he's kind of like Batman. He's got split personality, dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah.
DID. You did? I did. And that, like, the Steven character is the rich philanthropist personality that he has that is how he gets his money to do all this. And the Mark character...
I think you got that other way around. You talk about Willy Wonka, strike that, reverse it. Steven is the one that's the
Steven, who works in the museum,
yeah,
is the rich personality that Mark has created, because Mark was a mercenary who died in the desert and made a deal with the god, whatever the fuck her name is, to come back and do her bidding. And he doesn't even have superpowers. He's just a badass fucking mercenary who can die, I guess, and keep coming back.
Oh, okay.
And in order to like keep doing it, he creates these other personalities. I don't know how much in the comics he actually has, dissociative identity disorder, or if that's what kind of snapped him over the edge.
Yeah.
With those personalities, was he was already on the border living these different lives that he's created.
Yeah.
And dying and coming back snapped him, and now he has like. Now in the show, spoilers, I can't. Where the fuck are you? We get to use the new one.
Spoiler that.
Execute Order 66.
Earmuffs, motherfucker.
Yeah, we in the new show, we get that like the Steven is like this just fucking schmo who works at the gift shop.
Yeah.
And now he's got mystical powers, which I don't have a problem with because I don't know Moon Knight.
Yeah. I mean, at this point with Marvel, they're kind of on the third string.
Yeah.
They're like pulling out shit like, hey guys, She-Hulk. You're like, really? Miss Marvel? Okay. Moon Knight? I've heard of Moon Knight. Never read the books. But
I think that's where these series are going to come in, is like they're going to introduce us to these characters and make us kind of like them.
Yeah.
So that when they put them together in a cinematic universe, we're like, I like this guy. I know them.
Yeah. I mean, I was definitely concerned,
Fucking genius.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was definitely concerned when they started pulling out the Shang-Chi's and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, who the fuck? But look, I always go back to Guardians of the Galaxy. When they said they were making that movie, I was like, who the fuck read that book?
What is Guardians? Who are these Guardians of the
There's
Galaxy?
a talking tree? What the fuck?
I admittedly didn't know who the fuck Guardians of the Galaxy was, and then you got everybody going like, yeah, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and they like read on the fucking Marvelpedia the whole history. It's like, okay, boy.
Yeah, I mean, I never, and that was amazing. So I'll always give Marvel shows a chance. I did watch Moon Knight, the first episode. I thought it was great. I love the fact that like he just fucking nods out, and then all of a sudden he's somewhere else or something else. He doesn't know what's going on.
Yep.
At one point, I was like, maybe I don't know what's going on.
Well, now I was gonna ask you, were you like me in that? Like I'm watching, I'm going, what the fuck is going on? Like I have to go back and watch it again. I've only watched it once, admittedly.
Yeah,
but I didn't realize that whole thing in the beginning is Ethan Hawke.
Yeah,
putting the glass in his sandals.
Yep.
I
don't know what his deal is. It's still very vague because we're kind of in the same boat. I think it's only going to be 6 episodes. So I'm sure by like the next episode or 2, we're going to get more of a backstory and figure out what the fuck's going on.
Hopefully they don't pull a fucking Boba Fett.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think this one is just basically like, I think we're supposed to, or maybe it's just me, where I think we're supposed to just be like, what the fuck? And then they'll kind of peel the onion or whatever.
So he made a deal with the moon god to come back. And Ethan Hawke's character worships I forget the name of the Egyptian god of the, not the underworld, but like who basically judges you at death.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. So the Egyptian gods could choose a human host to be their avatar. You mean the blue people? Love that. And I love that they made anime, which is a bad reference because anime is Japanese, and the Avatar: The Last Airbender was an American-made TV show. But whatever.
Wow, you're goofing on me with fucking. You're goofing on me with color and the shape.
But I think so. Moon Knight is like the avatar for that, becomes the avatar for that goddess. Mm-hmm. And Ethan Hawke's character is, and I think like when he tries to test him by holding his wrist like he did the old lady, they're acting as an avatar for the god to weigh the soul of that person and go, have you been good or bad?
Wow.
But he can't get a reading on him because he's got fucking 3 different personalities. The god, Mark, and Steven running around in that head, one that's inherently good, one that's a fucking badass killer. And then the guy's like, I can't tell. There's no judgment here. And you wonder like how Steven hears the voice in his head. Yeah. Which I was blown away to realize who the voice actor who does that was. I was like, oh my God, it's that guy.
Who is it?
I can't remember his name, but he does, there's that TV show that's on Apple about the video game development company.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I heard
the
name, but
he's like the guy with the beard who, I do these voices all the time.
Yeah.
He's like that guy. he like is the narrator in that, of the video game that they're developing. But you wonder if Ethan Hawke is hearing the god who he's kind of the avatar for in his head, but we haven't heard it yet.
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just watching it going, cool, man. I mean, I have somewhat of a knowledge of Moon Knight because, like, as these shows come out, I'm like, I go down the freaking geek rabbit hole of like,
that's exactly what I did.
I know I got a comic book of it somewhere, and let me find out what this is all about when I walk in.
I thought about going out and buying the graphic novel. I'm like, oh, let me get caught up on this guy. But the show has kind of deviated from the
That's
legend.
what I've heard, yeah.
And I wonder if they did that because they're like, well, we don't want to be compared to fucking People are already saying he's the Marvel Batman. Let's move away from that and take it in a different direction.
Well, it's like with any comic book where they, certain runs are on certain things. Like it's, Frank Miller's, Daredevil Born Again is different than this one. And there's this, there's so
Slightly
many
different origin stories.
Yeah. So they're going to deviate a little bit. And it's like, well, that's not the one. Like, it really just depends on when you've picked up the comics. I'm an 80s, 90s comic book reader. So, like, when certain things come up with that, like when Wolverine goes to Japan, you're like, oh, fuck, that's not wrong with it. But, like, other than that, so I'm definitely down to see with that.
That's why I was excited last time, a couple episodes back when we talked about Batman, about them maybe going down the Death in the Family rabbit hole.
Yeah.
That was a big arc for me in comic book reading, was that happening.
I got that one upstairs somewhere. I mean, that's the thing. There's so many different stories. Like, we'll talk about Kraven the Hunter, that run, I think it's Kraven's Last Stand.
Okay.
There's a run with Kraven and Spider-Man that's just, I'm like, can we please have that? It looked really, really good. But to see him running around without Spider-Man, I'm like, who gives a fuck? Anyway.
Anywho.
As far as TV goes, besides Moon Knight, I did catch up. Actually, I have one episode I have to watch. I started watching Minx.
Ooh, I did too.
I
didn't even bring that up.
Yeah, Minx. I watched 4 episodes. I guess a new one debuted on Thursday. I haven't watched that yet.
2 of them.
2 of them.
I think we're up to like 6 or so episodes.
I watched the first 4. I caught all the way up. It was one of those Saturdays where I'm like, oh my god, dude, so many penises.
Oh my god, so much dick.
So much 70s Bush penises running around. If you're a fan of the cock, Minx is right up your alley. There's a lot of dong in it, which is just it. But just story wise, I wanted to write down the actor's name, the one that was from New Girl that's in it. He's great in it. All the characters are great in it. It's a good story. There's a lot of penises in it. If you can get past the Harry Bush penises, you might like it. Or if you like penises, go for it, man. But there's just so many penises.
So much dick.
But yeah, so really, I mean, that was like the only thing I watched.
I gotta ask, when you're watching it, I'm all caught up like 100%.
Okay.
There's a lot more dick to come.
Of course.
A lot of big dick to come.
Yeah.
And I'm watching, and I'm here's crazy me when they're doing the auditions.
Yeah.
And I'm going, real, fake, real. Like, I'm trying to figure out which one's prosthetic and which one's not.
Do you think they're using prosthetics on some of them?
I think on some of them they have to, only because not that someone doesn't have. I mean, I've watched enough porn to know that people have dicks that big.
Sure.
Not me.
Me neither.
But I feel like for purposes of like skirting the obscenity pornography angle, I know it's a cable show, but they kind of justify like all the dicks by like, yeah, but nobody's fucking anybody. They're not hard. They're not. But then someone might make the argument, you've got a guy with a giant cock. Like, what is anybody who's watching this going to think?
Giant
cocks. So to skirt, but they've got the defensive, but it's not real. Like,
and they're not hard. They're flaccid.
Right. And I think they even, you haven't gotten there yet, but one of the episodes, like, they address that, that like, she goes to this campus with this, she's that feminist lady and she goes to this professor's thing. And they start like, you think we can't handle staring at an erect penis? And she's like, wait, what? And she's like pointing out the fact that none of the guys have erections in the magazine. Yeah.
The only one I know who had erections was Pete Steele and his. He said in Playgirl, he was just like, because I did own a copy. He's like, I'll do it, but my dick's got to be hard in all the pictures. And it was. And God damn it, you could hang a swing on that motherfucker.
God damn it.
Yeah, but yeah, Minx, if you get a chance to watch it, I highly recommend it. If you're into wieners, if you're not into wieners, it's still a good show. It definitely gives you a little like, oh God, is that what
gives me a complex?
Is that, I'm like, is that what a real penis looks like?
No wonder my wife wants nothing to do with me.
I know. I can't hang a swing off mine.
I couldn't even hold a towel.
Exactly. Well, you can just play a game of Ring the Bagel. Anyway, Yeah, so that's really the only stuff that I watched was Moon Knight, and
I did watch one other new TV show.
Ooh,
It
you're
is
always good for the TV shows.
It's a little TV show called Slow Horses,
okay.
starring none other than Gary Oldman.
Oh,
It's on Apple TV.
see, I don't have the Apple TV Plus.
It's very Homeland.
Okay.
It's got the whole like it's CIA terrorist angle kind of thing, or it's actually MI5. It's British.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they've taken Homeland and made it British.
Oh, okay.
They're dealing with terrorists. It's not like somebody who's that I've noticed. There's only been 2 episodes. Not one of those like, it's basically this group of MI5 rejects. Like all the people who fucked up so bad, they're like, we're sending you to this house. Like, we're sending you to this place, and you guys are just going to go in there every day and do bullshit shit because we're not gonna fire you. We're just going to make your life so fucking miserable.
Well, you got to suspend your disbelief, I guess.
I guess so. When, Gary Oldman's a drunk fucking crazy guy running a MI5 subsect of the government, whatever. It's good. I'll keep watching it. It's a spy show. It's no Tinker Tailor Soldier spy. I'll tell you that.
Well, nothing is really.
There is another stupid show I'm interested in seeing.
I was just gonna say, to give me a stupid show, because I feel like a lot of these shows, like we just talked about Moon Knight and this other one, I'm like, these shows make me think. I just want to look at penises.
there's two shows. I can't remember the other one. Where he's like a security guard. And he goes on this, like, I guess the state of Florida has a contest to, like, capture the most snakes because they have, like, a invasive snakes thing. And you win a prize, and he's trying to start his own business, so he does that. That's a sitcom. I'll watch that. I'll give it a shot.
The guy from The Office is trying to catch snakes in Florida?
Yeah, I'll I know. It's fucking weird. But there's another show that I want to give a shot, and I don't think there's anybody big and famous in it. It's called How We Roll. Mm-hmm. It's a sitcom on CBS or Paramount Plus, really, Killing It is the other show with that guy.
Oh, yeah, I know him. Yeah, he was in The Office, too.
Yeah. The How We Roll, the guy's a fucking professional bowler, and it's like a family sitcom with a guy who's a professional bowler.
Nice.
And I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. How stupid could it be?
As long as he doesn't Munson that shit, he'll be all right.
That's right. They came out with new season of Mr. Mayor with fucking Ted Danson, and I was like, I barely survived the first season. It was so bad.
I don't watch anything that's network television. I don't even fucking have cable.
But like even Killing It, I think it's not on network TV. It's a Peacock original, so you can only watch it online.
All right, well, I got the Peacock. Speaking of dicks.
Well, I got to ask, because I know you have the AMC. You're all caught up on Walking Dead, right?
Yes, I am, sir.
And did you at least give Dirty Black Bag a shot? It sounds so weird saying Dirty Black Bag a shot.
I have not yet.
Oh, it's getting fucking creepy, freaky, crazy.
I'm gonna have to give that one a go.
Like it's
because I am paying for the fucking AMC Plus.
Did you watch Preacher?
Yeah, some of it.
It's got the guy who was Preacher on Preacher.
Oh, okay.
Which Preacher was a great fucking show too.
Yeah,
based on a comic book.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Seth Rogen made that.
Yeah,
he was like in love with the fucking comic book, and he's like, we got to make this into a show.
Yeah, it looked really good. I mean, what was it? Had asshole face or something like that?
Oh, God, ass face.
Ass face. Yeah, it looked good. I remember watching the pilot and being like, that's the problem now with there's so much stuff out there right now. And yet I'll sit there, like we said last week, and watch 10-minute YouTube clips because I just can't decide. Yep. Or I'll just I started playing GTA 5. Just like,
oh, God. You said that last week, and I went home on my PS5, and I was like, hold on. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, it is here. Download it. And then the other day I come out, and there's like Mila sitting on the couch. She's like, playing. I was like, and Xander's like, can I play GTA? And I'm like, no. Yeah. And we're all sitting there. Again, you said the whole sitting and watching someone play. I think half the fucking family sitting on the couch watching Mila play GTA, going, "That's not how you steal a car."
Yes, I know. It's so funny. You know how I ended up getting it because it wasn't on the Xbox Game Plus. My daughter had it. Yeah. My 13-year-old daughter was like, "Can Dad sign in on my?" I was like, "Look,
so
I'm
here's where I've gotten old. I know that Sony and Xbox have that Game Pass thing.
Yeah.
So if you pick up a game while it's on that Game Pass, it's not. They don't. It's like this month they'll put these games on there.
Yeah.
If you grab it, then do you have it forever now?
Not if it goes away. Yeah,
So you have a limited time to play that fucking game before it's like, oh, that game has expired. If you'd like to continue, please purchase it.
Well, there are games on there that have been on there for a while.
Okay.
Jedi Fallen Order, all the Walking Dead games, all those ones on Xbox, they've been around for a while. I mean, I'm knocking on wood because I'm fucking still in Fallen Order. But
Well, I will tell you, though, a game like Fallen Order, like, if you're playing it and you want to, and it goes away, you can fucking go to GameStop and probably pick it up for like $10 in the used rack.
yeah, or mine's all digital, so I just download them, or whatever. And yeah, they're like $20.
That's why I went with my PS5 is the one that has a disc version.
Yeah, I mean, you can get the disc one, but this one, I was like, I'm not, I don't see myself going to GameStop, so and I hate discs, I mean, I love physical copies of stuff, but not video games. So yeah, I mean, so that is pretty much it with the TV, at least that I have.
Watch the musician from the big rock band. Now he just looks like a big fat ham. It's time for Greg's Music News.
Yeah, tits indeed. I did go through the Discover on my Spotify just to see what was out there. Really, there's not that much at all.
No.
The only thing I saw was the Red Hot Chili Peppers have a new album.
Oh, wait, they do? Oh, come on.
Unlimited Love, it's called. Now, I tried listening to it. I was a big Chili Peppers fan in the beginning. Like, they're another band. I'm happy that John Frusciante is back with them.
Right.
And he's not on the H, and he's looking good, and he's been, back with the band. But I started listening to some of it, and I'm like, this sounds like there's no, like, give me something. Like, I think their last album, that was Californication was the last one that I was kind of into.
Oh, that you were into. I was going to say, that wasn't their last album.
No. They've put out a ton of albums after that I just did not give a fuck about.
It's funny you say it because I think that happens frequently. All of a sudden, a band will come out with an album, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. They got an album out, and I listen. I was like, this is pretty good. And then I realized, oh, they had like 5 other albums that I didn't even listen to.
Oh, yeah. And my big thing is, like I said, it's kind of, they fall in the category for me right now of Weezer, where I'm just like, it comes out, you know what you're going to get. I hadn't, nothing really catching me. No. I'm like, oh, this is a great song. Like, I can go through their catalog, especially their earlier stuff, and pull out songs like, oh, even the one they did with Dave Navarro, there's some great songs on that one. But, these last couple ones, like, they got Frusciante back, and I'm like, oh, cool, because I love him. But at the same time, I'm like, what the fuck, man? And my big theory is, are they trying to look ugly on purpose?
Maybe they are so ugly that they're looking a little bit better.
No, I mean, Anthony Kiedis was a good-looking man back in the day. What's with the fucking mustache and the mullet and the hat?
He looks like he's doing 70s porn.
Yeah, he's hot. And then
I hate the stereotype, but again, no disrespect. He looks like he's doing 70s gay porn.
Exactly. Like, not even that. It's just like, he's a good-looking man. Like, what the fuck are you doing to yourself? Like, with the mustache and the bad hair. Yeah. And I'm sorry, Flea, amazing bass player. Yeah. One of my influences. Love him. Dude, fix your fucking teeth. Yeah, but I know you're punk rock and everything.
That's half his shtick, though. That's the problem.
It was a shtick in the 80s and 90s. Like, it's 2022, dude. You got more money than Jesus. Just fucking fix your teeth.
Yeah, do something with that Back to the Future residuals.
Exactly.
Needles.
Yeah, needles. Give me the money, Lebowski. Yeah, I mean, dude, I get it. Look, it's not about appearance and stuff like that. I mean, whatever, but I'm watching one of their videos for the new songs, and I'm just like, what the fuck are they? What is this? He's not. It's just there's just not that. Their music always had energy, and it's like Fishbone. It was like freaking. You wanted to jump up and down and and get into it. All this stuff, it just seems like the same old crap. But yeah, that's the only album I saw. Well, our buddy Vern breached the asylum. He put out new singles. We Are One in Our Hands. I really, really like it.
Wait, you have one in your hands? Is it
I
mine?
have. I have one in my hand.
It's yours.
It's more my thumbs because it's kind of small, like we talked about.
One of your balls.
Yeah, exactly. But he released some music. The song is called "We Are One." Parentheses in our hands. It's great. It's rocking. It's Vern. I mean, his vocals on it are different. It's a little different.
Yeah, Vern
raspy.
Vern really rocks when he stops tuning.
Yeah, when he stops looking at his tuning. But I'm excited. They have another show. He's doing his birthday show on May 1st at the Chance.
Oh.
So we might have to go to that one. We'll get Vern on the podcast. I've been trying to get him on. Our schedules have been kind of mixed, but I know that his show's coming up. We'll get him on to talk about it. Yeah, so, definitely check out Breach the Asylum. I put that song on our Hey Pal, What's New playlist.
Cool.
Didn't put any of the fucking Red Hot Chili Peppers on there.
Not worthy of the playlist.
But I have been noticing, since we've been talking about the Hey Pal, What's New Spotify playlist, which I've been listening to like crazy, just wanted to give a big thank you and heads up.
Big Hey Pal, What's New thank you.
Yeah, Hey Pal, What's New thank you to all these people that submitted music on there. I mean, you got Daryl put on like a million freaking different bands I've been listening to, catching on. Like Soul Glow was one, Drug Church. Listen, pal, you don't have to put the whole album on there. Just give me a song or two.
Wait, Daryl put a whole album on?
He put the whole Drug Church album on, which is great. It's really good. But I'm like, don't put the whole album on.
Give me the best song, and that'll take me to the album and give me the song that's going to make me want to find that album and listen to it all.
Yeah, so I did do a little deletion. Sorry, buddy.
It's official, Daryl Long. You have been censored.
But I did leave some of the Drug Church. Wet Leg was another one. Anxious. Spoon. He put on a ton. Like, I was looking through it today, and I was just like, damn. So if you guys do put music on the playlist, definitely let us know. I mean, it is cool when I listen to the playlist. All of a sudden, a song comes up. I'm like, who put that on there? And I look, I'm like, oh, Daryl did. But yeah, I was seeing stuff from, like, obviously our buddy Stolpe put on some bands. Seven Kingdoms, Airborne, Oregon. My girl Manal put on some old stuff, like some TSOL, some Dag Nasty. Noah, I spoke to Noah, or the fabulous keyboard player,
yes,
that multi-talented motherfucker that's in that awesome band called The Critically Ashamed. They're coming out with something soon. He gave me some suggestions to put on there. A Giant Dog is one of the bands. And even your wife.
My wife did?
She put on Pop Will Eat Itself.
I don't think my wife listens to the show.
She put 2 songs on there.
Must have been an accident.
She put on that song from Judgment Night, one of my favorite ones, with Booyah Tribe and Faith No More.
Okay.
I was like, good on you, Kat. Putting some stuff on there. So we do encourage, if you have music that you put out, like Vern would Breach the Asylum, Blue Alien Mystic, Dizzy Parker, Moonlight Initiative, you got new music that's out there. We're going to start advertising on some of these music groups that I'm a member of because of the Critically Ashamed. You got new music, man. Put it on there. Let us know when it's on there, and we'll listen to it. And, I apologize because I went through there today and saw all the good stuff that you guys put on there, and I was like, well, I can't review freaking 28 bands, but it is duly noted. And if there is something you want us to promote or listen to, like with Vern, Vern didn't tell me about he advertised on Facebook, but we
come on, Vern,
so,
give us the exclusive.
Yeah, we're gonna get him on there. He's a good chatter. So yeah, just if you're a Spotify person and you got some music, whether it's songs that you want us to check out that are new, like Daryl's been freaking doing it like a champ. Put it on there, let us know, and we'll check it out. So, yeah, I mean, that's really the only thing I have as far as music stuff.
I do have one new music thing.
Ooh.
And it's not new.
Lay it on me, bitch.
But, lay it on me, bitch. I'm going to play it over the air because it's not on Spotify.
No?
No. And you already know it.
Oh, it's the band you sent me.
Yeah. One of my students gave it to me. It was, I searched. He's like, you got to search this. And it's like, it's an obscure-ish band. If, you can't find them on Spotify, you can't find them anywhere else. And the search, they don't even come up in the search on YouTube unless you, pick a specific thing and find it.
Yeah.
And the band, what thing I had to search was, A//political.
Okay.
So here, let's see. You know, they're very like old school, like 80s, 90s punk.
I love it.
And I think all their stuff is like recorded like we did. Like somebody fucking puts a boombox on the floor and just hits record.
Yeah.
Or they're playing a gig at a shitty club and someone's like in the back, not even on the soundboard recording. There's somebody like in the back recording it.
Ooh.
But I was really, I don't know if I was liking it because I really like it or because I felt like some of their songs were like, this sounds like Permanent Hangover, man.
Yeah, I mean, it did bring me back to that old school retro stuff. I mean, because that's the thing, man. People really, it's great to put out a good quality product.
Right.
Like you want to have it sonically sound great and all that stuff, especially with technology now. But there's some albums that back then it's like it sounds like shit, and I don't fucking care. I don't want it to be touched. Sometimes it's cool. Other times, most of the time, it brings me back to that time when I'm listening to it on cassette. It very much reminds me of, like, we've talked about this before, the old school punk shows you would have at like the Italian American Club. Mm-hmm. That's where I discovered Aware. Yeah, oh yeah.
And like, I don't even know what happened to them after all that. Did they ever go anywhere, or was it just like they were part of that scene for the time and then
they were big in the straight edge scene? It's not they, up front, did a lot more, I think.
And this student of mine who turned me on to this, he's very like, straight edge. He's a very straight edge guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's awesome. It's, and I hate being like the old man, but it's like, that's a rare quality you don't really see in like kids today, that he's like, he values his music and stuff like that. And it's not about like sex and drugs. It's like, I like the music. I like all that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of great straight edge. I mean, freaking 2 words, Minor Threat. But all those bands, Earth Crisis.
Now, Aware is on Spotify, aren't they? Those old, like those,
I don't think that they are. I mean, at least maybe they don't. I mean, I will give Spotify kudos. They do have a lot of old school hardcore on there.
Yeah.
That you could find everything from, Judge and Bold and Side by Side and, obviously Cro-Mags and all those other ones. But, I got into, the straight edge stuff. Judge is one of my favorites. There's that great documentary that Vice did on the singer of Judge. There Will Be Quiet, because he just disappeared, and then they resurfaced, and now he's playing again. So yeah, it's especially for a young crowd to get into that straight edge kind of scene, and it's just the only problem that I had with the straight edge scene back then is they almost got kind of militant. Like they saw you smoking a cigarette outside the fucking Italian American Club, they all beat your ass. It's like, dude, let the kid have a fucking cigarette. Who cares? But yeah, man, there's some really good music that came out of that shit. I
just wonder about all those bands, man, but whatever.
Yeah, we'll have to go down the rabbit hole one day and just be like, whatever happened to Rambo Smurf? Whatever happened to,
whatever happened to Pet UFO?
Yeah. Heads up display. Where did they go?
I think it's funny, too, because, to going way back, Pet UFO, I don't know if you remember them, but I think they played a gig with you in New Haven at one point with POS.
Maybe, yeah.
And I only know that because when I was living in Florida, one of my friends who I met down there was the singer of Pet UFO.
Oh. And
the only reason we got in the conversation was because she was at the apartment I was sharing with my friend Brandy. She saw, like, was it when I was living with Brandy or the other group of people? Either way, she saw the Product of Society CD in my collection. She's like, shit. You know these guys? I'm like, yeah, it's my friend right there. She's like, we played with them. I was like, wait, what? And she brought it up, and
it's pretty scary, man. When I think about all those shows we played back in the 90s with POS, it's like people come up to me all the time, and they're just like, I saw you at the Boiler Room, and we played. And I'm like, I have fucking no idea. It's all a blur. And I wasn't even a huge drinker back then. You know, I did kind of go straight, talking about straight edge, when I first joined that band, I stopped drinking for 3 years. I just had bad alcohol poisoning, and I said, fuck this, I ain't doing it no more, and stopped for 3 years, and then picked it back up senior year in college. So yeah, there was a period where I was very aware, and no pun intended. And yeah, it's just a little blur. I mean, some of the big highlight ones, obviously, I remember, but people come up to me like, "Yeah, I saw you at the tune-in," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I got you." Like, did we play the tune-in? I don't know.
Did. I went there.
Oh yeah, we played everywhere. But yeah, that's pretty much it as far as the music stuff. I think
Cool. Did I play your outro? Did I play you out?
No.
Watch the musician from the big rock band. Now he just looks like a big fat ham. It's
Time for Greg's hairy boobs. What?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, check out the website. You can listen to the podcast on there. Our merch page.
Please buy some.
Anyway, so yeah, I think we're done. I think we did it.
Yay.
Like I said, check out the website, like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. That way you know when we're late. And, guess who's on? These two fuckers. So
Yeah.
there. So
Guess who's on? These two fuckers. On your mom.